My fiancé stole my lottery winnings, faked a death, and tried to frame me. My revenge included a private investigator and a very public arrest. I'm still reeling from everything that's happened, and I honestly don't even know where to begin. It's a long story, filled with betrayal, heartbreak, and ultimately, a strange kind of justice. I'm posting this here because I need to get it all out, and maybe some of you have experienced something similar, or at least have some advice on how to navigate the aftermath of such a monumental deception. It all started innocently enough, or so I thought. My name is Alex, 34M, and until recently, I was engaged to Sarah, 32F. We had been together for 5 years, and I truly believed she was the woman I was going to spend the rest of my life with. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue, and there was an instant connection. She was charming, beautiful, and seemed to share all my interests. We built a life together, moved into a small house, and were planning our wedding for next spring. Everything seemed perfect, then came the lottery. I've always been a casual lottery player, buying a ticket here and there, never really expecting to win anything substantial. One Tuesday morning, I bought a Mega Millions ticket on my way to work. I usually check the numbers online, but that day, I was swamped. I left the ticket on the kitchen counter, telling Sarah that if she had a moment, she could check it. A few days later, I remembered the ticket and asked Sarah if she had checked it. She said she had, and that it was a bust, just like all the others. I shrugged it off. No big deal, it was just a few dollars. Life went on. About 2 weeks after that, things started to feel off. Sarah became distant. She started spending more time alone, taking mysterious phone calls in another room, and her explanation for where she was going always felt a little vague. When I asked her about it, she'd get defensive, saying I didn't trust her. I tried to push these feelings aside, telling myself it was just pre-wedding stress, or perhaps I was being overly sensitive. One evening, I came home from work to an empty house. There was a note on the kitchen counter, in Sarah's handwriting. It was short, cryptic, and chilling. It simply said, "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." My heart sank. I tried calling her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I called her parents, her friends. No one had heard from her. Panic set in. I drove around, checking all her usual spots, but she was nowhere to be found. I reported her missing, of course. The police were sympathetic but explained that adults are free to leave if they choose. Still, they launched a missing persons investigation. The days that followed were a blur of worry, sleepless nights, and endless questions. Her car was found abandoned at a hiking trail about 50 miles away, a place we had often gone together. This discovery escalated the police's concern. Search parties were organized, news reports were made. I cooperated fully, providing photos, answering every question, desperate for any news. Then, the unthinkable happened. A week after she disappeared, the police found what they believed to be Sarah's body at the bottom of a steep ravine near where her car was found. The identification process was difficult due to the condition of the body, but preliminary evidence, including dental records and personal effects found nearby, pointed to it being Sarah. I was devastated. The world spun out from under me. My fiancée, the woman I loved, was gone. The police investigation continued, now upgraded to a potential homicide, though they couldn't rule out an accidental fall. I was, naturally, questioned extensively. I was a wreck, mourning, confused, and heartbroken. I had an airtight alibi for the time of her disappearance and presumed death, thanks to my work and several friends I was with. Still, the suspicion, however subtle, was there. That's when things took an even darker turn. A few days after the formal identification, the police informed me that they found something at the scene, a small, engraved locket that I had given Sarah for our anniversary. Inside it, tucked away, was a single, used lottery ticket. My lottery ticket. The one I had bought weeks ago and left on the counter, and it was a winning ticket. A multi-million-dollar winning ticket. My mind raced. Sarah had told me it was a bust. Why would she lie? Why would it be with her body? The police, seeing this, started to look at me with new eyes. The narrative shifted. Suddenly, I wasn't just the grieving fiancé. I was a potential suspect in a murder case, with a clear motive. Lottery winnings. I was brought in for formal questioning. They laid out their theory. Sarah won the lottery. I found out. We argued, and I killed her to get the money. It sounded insane, a movie plot, but the evidence, circumstantial as it was, painted a grim picture for me. My lawyer, whom I hired immediately, advised me to say nothing more than necessary. I was released, but under a cloud of suspicion. My life became a living nightmare. Friends started to distance themselves. Colleagues whispered. I was innocent, but how could I prove it? I knew, deep in my gut, that something was profoundly wrong. Sarah might have lied about the ticket, but I couldn't believe she would just disappear and end up dead like this, especially not by my hand. The idea of her faking her death seemed ludicrous, but the thought kept nagging at me. Why the lottery ticket at the scene? It felt too convenient, too perfectly incriminating that I decided I couldn't rely solely on the police. I needed to find my own answers. I hired a private investigator, a former police detective named David, known for his relentless pursuit of the truth. I told him everything: the lottery ticket, Sarah's strange behavior before she disappeared, my absolute conviction that I was being framed. David started his investigation. He began by re-examining the evidence from the crime scene. He focused on the body itself. While the police were satisfied with the dental records, David dug deeper. He had a hunch. He contacted the medical examiner, pushing for a more thorough investigation, specifically requesting DNA analysis of the body, if possible, and a review of the dental records by an independent expert. While David was working on that, I started going through Sarah's things the police had already processed. I was looking for anything, any clue that could explain her behavior or her supposed death. I found a hidden compartment in her old jewelry box, something I never knew existed. Inside, there were a few things: a burner phone, a false passport with her photo but a different name, and a stack of financial documents. The financial documents were the real shocker. They showed a newly opened offshore bank account with a massive deposit. The date of the deposit? The week after I bought the lottery ticket. And the amount? Exactly the jackpot amount, after taxes. Sarah hadn't just won the lottery, she had claimed it. And she had lied to me about it. My blood ran cold. The pieces started to click into place. She had taken the winning ticket, claimed the money, and then faked her death to escape with it, leaving me to take the fall. The locket with the ticket at the scene was a deliberate plant, designed to implicate me. I immediately shared my findings with David. He wasn't surprised. It's a classic setup, Alex. Someone wants you out of the picture, and the best way to do that is to make you look like a killer. David then delivered even more shocking news. The independent dental expert he consulted had found inconsistencies in the dental records used to identify the body. The original records were genuine Sarah's, but the body itself had subtle dental work that didn't match her file precisely. It was a close match, but not perfect. Furthermore, the DNA analysis confirmed it. The body found in the ravine was not Sarah. It was another woman, of similar build and age, who had gone missing from a nearby town around the same time. The police, under pressure to close the case and with the strong evidence against me, had overlooked the discrepancies. Sarah had somehow managed to procure the body of another woman, likely a victim of an accidental death or an unrelated crime, and planted enough of her personal effects to make it appear to be her. It was a macabre, meticulously planned deception. With this new information, David went to the police. It was a difficult conversation, as it implied they had made a significant error in their initial investigation. But the evidence was undeniable. The burner phone, the fake passport, the offshore account, and most importantly, the confirmation that the body wasn't Sarah's, it all pointed to one thing: Sarah was alive, rich, and had attempted to frame me for her fake death. The police were, understandably, furious. They immediately launched a new, full-scale investigation, now treating Sarah as a fugitive and a prime suspect in a massive fraud and attempted murder scheme. My name was cleared, but the emotional scars were deep. Now the chase was on. With the offshore bank account details, David and the police were able to track some of Sarah's movements. She had been very careful, using cash, avoiding digital footprints wherever possible, but she made one crucial mistake. She had used her fake passport to open a new account in a small, obscure bank in a tropical island nation known for its lax financial regulations. This account was linked to her offshore one, allowing her to access funds. David, working with international law enforcement, was able to pinpoint her location. She was living a lavish life on a secluded villa on a beautiful island, under her new identity. The planning for her capture was meticulous. They wanted to make it count, not just for the legal ramifications, but for the public humiliation she deserved. I wanted her to face the consequences, to understand the depth of the pain and terror she had inflicted upon me. The day of the arrest was surreal. I wasn't there, but David kept me updated. Local authorities, tipped off by international agencies, raided her villa. She was apprehended without incident, completely stunned. She had truly believed she was untouchable. The news broke like wildfire. The story of the missing fiancé, the lottery winnings, the body, and the subsequent discovery of the deception. It was a sensation. My name, once dragged through the mud, was now cleared, and I was hailed as the victim of an elaborate, cruel plot. Sarah's face was plastered across every news outlet, no longer the grieving fiancé, but the conniving con artist. She was extradited back to the US to face a litany of charges: fraud, identity theft, obstruction of justice, and attempted murder. The prosecution built a solid case, largely thanks to the evidence David uncovered and the confession she eventually gave. Realizing the game was up, she tried to claim she was manipulated, that she was scared, but the evidence of her meticulous planning and cold-hearted execution spoke for itself. The trial was a media circus. I had to testify, recounting the agonizing days of her disappearance, the horror of finding the body, and the chilling realization of her betrayal. Sarah sat there, emotionless for most of it, only occasionally flinching when undeniable evidence was presented. In the end, she was found guilty on all counts. The judge, clearly appalled by the calculated cruelty of her actions, handed down a severe sentence. She will be spending a very long time in prison, the lottery winnings forfeited to the state, with a significant portion allocated to me as compensation for my emotional distress, legal fees, and the trauma she put me through. I'm left now picking up the pieces of my life. The house feels empty, though it's no longer filled with the ghost of her supposed death, but with the echoes of her monumental deceit. I'm seeing a therapist to process the trauma. Trust is a huge issue for me now. Every new person I meet, I find myself scrutinizing them, searching for any hint of dishonesty. It's exhausting. My friends and family have been incredibly supportive, now that the truth is out. They apologized for their initial doubts, though I understood their skepticism given the circumstances. My lawyer is helping me navigate the financial aspects, which are substantial, but honestly, the money feels secondary. What I truly want is peace, and to be able to trust again. I still sometimes wake up in a cold sweat, reliving the moment the police told me they found her body, or the chilling feeling of being accused of her murder. The psychological impact is immense, but I also feel a sense of vindication. I stood up for myself, I fought for the truth, and I got justice. I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm focusing on healing, on rebuilding my sense of self and my capacity for trust. Maybe one day I'll be able to open my heart to someone again. But for now, I'm just grateful to be alive, cleared of a terrible accusation, and finally free from the shadow of Sarah's monstrous deception. Has anyone here ever experienced something even remotely close to this? How do you move past such a profound betrayal? What are your tips for rebuilding trust and moving forward after such an unimaginable ordeal? I'm open to any advice, any shared experiences, anything that can help me navigate this new, unexpected chapter of my life.